Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic, innovation management. It's a crucial part of any organization looking to stay ahead. How do companies really manage to foster creativity while keeping the innovation process structured?
Yeah, it's a balancing act, right? On one hand, you want to encourage free thinking and creativity, but on the other, you need a solid framework to bring those ideas to life. So, where does an organization even begin?
Great question. I think it starts with culture. Companies need to build an environment where risk-taking and experimentation are not only tolerated but encouraged. Have you seen any organizations really nail this?
Absolutely. Companies like Google or 3M, for example, have been pioneers in creating what's often called a safe space for innovation. They allow employees to dedicate a certain amount of time to work on personal projects. It's like giving them freedom with a purpose.
That's key, the idea of allocating time for personal projects. But how do you ensure these ideas don't just stay ideas? What's the next step in the innovation process?
Once you've got that idea, the challenge is moving from concept to execution. This is where innovation management really kicks in. You need a structured approach to test, refine, and scale these ideas. It's about having a clear process for vetting ideas. Think design thinking or lean startup principles.
I like the sound of design thinking. It's all about empathy and really understanding the problem before jumping into solutions. How do you think organizations can measure the success of these creative processes?
Good point. There's definitely a need for metrics. For example, measuring the speed of idea implementation, the number of successful innovations launched, or even employee engagement in the process. But success also depends on how well the organization adapts to change. Not everything will work, and that's okay.
Exactly. Failure is part of the process. What role do leaders play in all this? How can they really champion innovation?
Leaders set the tone. They're the ones who should model creative thinking, openness to feedback, and resilience when things don't go as planned. They also need to provide the resources, both time and budget, to support innovation initiatives.
Right. It's about leadership being proactive in removing barriers. But what about the day-to-day employees? How do you keep them engaged and motivated to innovate?
That's where recognition and rewards come into play. It's about acknowledging both big and small wins. Maybe it's a shout out in a meeting or something more tangible like a bonus for a successful project. Also, creating cross-functional teams can spark new ideas because people from different departments bring fresh perspectives.
Cross-functional teams are crucial. It's like mixing different ingredients to create something new. Do you think the innovation process needs to be formalized, or can it be a bit more fluid?
It depends. A mix of both is often best. You want some degree of structure so that ideas don't get lost, but the process should also remain flexible enough to accommodate creativity. Too much structure can stifle innovation, while too little can lead to chaos.
Totally agree. Flexibility, but also clarity. If you could offer one piece of advice to companies trying to foster a more innovative culture, what would it be?
Start small but think big. Give employees the space to experiment with new ideas without overwhelming them with too many expectations. And always make sure they know their creativity is valued. That's the spark that keeps innovation alive.
Well said. It really boils down to creating a culture where creativity isn't just encouraged, it's expected. Thanks for the great insights today.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Let's keep pushing the boundaries.